Hello, hello geometry people. This is my third time trying to make this video on proofs. Hopefully it'll go this time. I've got my phone on Do Not Disturb and it looks like the software is running. So welcome to this optional topic on geometric proofs, and I applaud you for even attempting to do it, because this is traditionally the most difficult topic in geometry. So let's get right to it. You see before you what a proof problem looks like. There's usually a diagram, some statements that are called givens, and then what you're asked to prove. Okay? So the way you get started, and I've already begun it, so I'll show you what it looks like, is you make two columns labeled statements and reasons. And then the first thing you do is you start writing down what your givens are. I've already written them down. And the reason that you say for these three statements is given. It's that simple. All right? So that's how you begin, and so far we really haven't done any thinking or any geometry work or anything like that. So let's start actually taking a look at what this proof entails. What I want you to do next is mark your diagram based on what's given. So we look, we see that PT bisects QS. Here's PT, and it bisects QS. So hopefully you remember that bisect means cuts into two congruent parts. So we've marked the bisector. Then we have PQ perpendicular to QS. Here's PQ, here's QS, and hopefully you remember perpendicular means right angles. So I'm going to make the right angle there. And also TS is perpendicular to QS. So I'm going to put a right angle there. Now, when we're trying to prove triangles congruent, we're going to use one of those 5 reasons that we did before Christmas break. Do you remember the side, angle, side, 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 those things? So if you look at what we've got, so far we have an angle and a side, angle and a side. We need another part. And the part that we're going to use in this proof is these two angles here I'm going to mark congruent. And those angles are congruent because of vertical angles. And so these two triangles are congruent by angle, side, angle. Angle, side, angle. Just doing that part right there, marking the diagram up, I will give you some credit. So let's finish this proof then. Okay? What I'm going to basically do now is I'm going to write down what I marked. Okay, I marked QR congruent to RS. And what was the reason I marked that? Definition of a bisector. Or you can say a bisector divides a segment into two congruent parts. If you had just written definition of a bisector, I would be fine with that. Okay, what else did I write? What else did I mark? I marked two right angles. Let's say angle PQR and angle TSR are right angles. And why did I write that? Perpendicular lines form right angles. Now, I just said they're right angles. We need them to be also congruent for our proof to work, so I'm going to say PQR is congruent to angle TSR. Why are they congruent? Well, they're both right angles, right? They both measure 90 degrees. So all right angles are congruent. Now the last thing that I marked were these two angles, the vertical angles. So let me state those are congruent now. Angle PRQ is congruent to angle TRS. All vertical angles are congruent. And now we can actually finish our proof, because you see here, this was an angle. This was an angle. I'm just making little notes to myself. And then this was a side, so it's going to be angle, side, angle. So the two triangles are congruent. Triangle PQR is congruent to triangle TSR, and the reason is angle, side, angle. And the proof is done. A proof is done when the last thing that you're trying to prove is your last statement. And then you start with your givens, you finish with what you're trying to prove, and then the in-between part is your proof. Now, each proof is going to be different. This exact proof we just did, you can do it differently. You can do things in different orders, as long as your reasoning is correct. Okay? So I'm going to stop this video here. I'm going to add another one with another proof. But just, good luck with your assignments. Ask for help if you need any help, and you will also see a file that's posted that gives all the reasons you can use in a proof. So let me stop this.